Cop laughs at black boy for saying his dad's in special forces, until the man walks onto the scene. 1. The laugh that started it all. 12-year-old Malik Johnson stood on the sidewalk outside the Walmart in Fort Bragg, North Carolina, fidgeting with the cuffs of his hoodie. His backpack, slightly too heavy for his small frame, sagged on his shoulders. The afternoon sun glared down, but his mind was on his dad. He hadn't seen him in 8 months. Deployment in some place he'd understand when he was older, his mom said. Wait here, Mrs. Carter, his teacher, had said as she rushed inside to grab cupcakes for the class celebration. Malik didn't mind. He liked people watching. That is, until a police cruiser pulled into the lot. Officer Burns, white, stocky, with mirrored sunglasses and a tight jawline, stepped out, eyeing Malik like a hawk watching a mouse. "What are you doing here, kid?" he asked, hand already near his holster. Malik, heart skipping, tried to stand tall. "Waiting for my teacher. We're getting cupcakes." Burns narrowed his eyes. "You sure you're not loitering? This isn't a hangout spot." "I'm not loitering," Malik said quietly, then, hoping to give himself some ground, added, "My dad's in the special forces. We live on base." That's when it happened. The cop laughed. A short, sharp laugh, disbelieving, dismissive. "Special forces? You?" "Sure, kid. And I'm the president." The laugh echoed louder in Malik's ears than in reality, but it hurt all the same. His fists clenched. "You shouldn't lie," the cop said, walking closer. "Makes you look guilty." Just then, the Walmart doors swung open. And everything changed. 2. The arrival. From the sliding doors stepped a tall, broad-shouldered man in army fatigues. His stride was purposeful, boots thudding with weight and authority. His face, weathered by sun and sand, broke into a wide smile when he saw Malik. "Son. Dad." Malik's voice cracked with relief. He ran. The man dropped the bag of cupcakes and caught his son mid-air, lifting him like a feather. For a moment, everything else blurred, the cop, the parking lot, the fear. Officer Burns stiffened. Something shifted in his posture. Malik's dad put his son down and turned to the officer. "Is there a problem?" The man's nameplate read Johnson, and his chest carried the distinct flash of a green beret, Special Forces. Multiple campaign ribbons lined his uniform, including a silver star. The cop swallowed. I didn't realize he was yours, sir." Malik's father tilted his head slightly. "And if he wasn't, would that have changed how you treated him?" There was no aggression in his voice, just calm, measured disappointment. The kind that cuts deeper than shouting ever could. Burns looked at the ground. "I was just doing my job." "Were you?" Johnson asked. "Because I've led men through deserts and jungles. I've negotiated with warlords and brought children out of firefights. I've stared death in the eye more times than I can count. But nothing makes me more afraid than knowing my son could be hurt just by standing still in his own country." 3. The conversation that opened eyes. Mrs. Carter finally returned, out of breath, holding a torn cupcake box. She saw the scene and froze. "Is everything okay?" "Yeah," Malik said quietly. "Dad came home early." Later, back at school, whispers flew down the hallways. Kids talked. Teachers leaned in. Everyone wanted to know what had happened. And word got out. About the cop. About the laugh. About the moment Malik's dad walked into the parking lot like a hero out of a movie, except it wasn't a movie. It was real. Principal Delgado called Malik and his dad into the office the next morning. "We've been asked to address the incident publicly," she said. "There's a community board meeting tomorrow night. Would you be willing to speak?" Malik looked at his father, eyes wide. "Only if Malik wants to," Johnson said. "I do," Malik whispered. I want them to know. 4. The meeting that changed a town. The community center buzzed with tension. Parents, students, officers, veterans, teachers, people packed the chairs, lined the walls. At the front, the principal introduced Malik and Sergeant Major Andre Johnson. Malik's hands trembled as he took the microphone. But then he looked out, and saw his classmates. And his dad. He took a deep breath. When I said my dad was in Special Forces, the officer laughed at me. He thought someone like me couldn't have a dad like that. A pause. I'm not mad. I'm sad. Because that laugh told me I didn't belong. That my truth wasn't believable. He looked at Officer Burns, who sat stiffly near the back. But I'm proud of my dad. And I'm proud of who I am. We're all more than how we look. And no kid should feel like their worth has to be proven. When Malik sat down, the room erupted into applause, long, loud, standing applause. 5. The turnaround. The town made changes. Police were required to attend empathy and bias training. A new mentorship program was launched, pairing officers with kids from local schools, including those from the base. Malik's dad was invited to speak at 3 different schools, inspiring kids who never imagined they could be anything beyond what others expected of them. As for Officer Burns, he reached out. He asked Malik and his father to meet him for lunch one Saturday. Nervous but willing, they agreed. I want to apologize, Burns said, his voice cracking. Not just for that day, but for what I carry that made me react that way. I was wrong. And I'm learning. Malik nodded. It meant a lot that you came. They shared fries. Laughed. Talked about comic books. Somewhere in between, something shifted, an unspoken bridge began to form. 6. The message that echoed beyond the town. Months later, a national news outlet picked up the story. Boy silenced by prejudice, empowered by truth. The headline went viral. But Malik never let it get to his head. He kept studying. Kept growing. His dream of becoming a pilot like his dad only burned brighter. And in a letter he wrote to his future self, he ended with this line. The world is full of people who judge too quickly. But it's also full of people who change. Be the reason they do.